It
Welcome,
definitely isn't that.
welcome everybody to the KW Vibes podcast. Give me 1 second, make sure everyone's in frame. Looks pretty decent. Today's episode is a special one. Usual host, I'm Griffin Harris. You probably know me for better or worse. With me,
How's it going, guys?
regular co-host Dante,
Dante Lefevre, how's it going?
and we have two special guests today. So from bottom left first, Max Cohen, a graphic
What's going on?
designer from Waterloo. You know him. You know him for his once again for better or worse. He's a good friend of mine. And then
Don't
we have the
touch me.
super talented. The last song you just heard in the intro
Yeah.
was Brittany Hope, featuring Brittany Hope.
So she was the one singing, guys. We got Brittany down here. Singer, songwriter, artist, everything. Brittany, you want to add anything to that?
I'm good. You covered it all.
Perfect. Thanks for being
Perfect.
here, guys.
Yeah, thanks so much for
Of
being
course.
here. So today's topic is passion projects, and I thought this was a more well-known term than I didn't know that people didn't know. But some people don't know what a passion project is. So hopefully by the end of the show, you'll have some insight into that. But a passion project is work that doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
It's not really with the goal of a career necessarily. Like if it blows up, you're there. But it's really just it's not about chasing a dream and putting all your chips into it. It's about exploring your dreams and really figuring out what makes you happy. And that's something that I find really is really important. So what would you say is like a passion project for us, Dante?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously this podcast, right? Could be a passion project. You can look at it that way. Definitely, it doesn't really feel like work. Griffin and I were talking last night, even just planning out today's episode and going over what we're gonna, questions we're gonna ask, stuff like that. And I mean, it doesn't feel like work at all. It's just a good time spending with a friend and working towards a goal, which is to put on a good show for everybody here. So yeah, so definitely this podcast. Just going over what we're going to be doing today, guys. We're going to be covering 5 different artists. It's going to be a really good time.
Two of which have been nice enough to join us today, and hopefully
Yeah.
they can give us some of their insights onto what it's like to put so many hours into something that really just makes them happy.
That's right. And yeah, so we'll be interviewing these two here. Again, guys, thanks so much for being here.
Of course.
Yeah, it's just great for you guys to be here. We're just gonna start off with you, Brittany, if that's all right.
Yep, go ahead.
Perfect.
So
So
the first thing we're going to do for you, Brittany, is we're going to show some of your music, some of your playing, because I know you're good. A lot of people know you're good. I've heard
Yeah.
you live. Honestly,
It's
like some of the
amazing, yeah.
some of the best performing live I've ever heard in life, which is,
Thank you.
to be 100% honest. But just
it's
so
great.
people have a point of reference, we're gonna play a little snippet of what you can do.
Quick track
Okay,
for everybody.
go ahead.
Perfect.
That is perfectly to frame on Brittany, and I don't know what you're saying.
What?
Is it anybody
But-
who would
oh,
laugh
yeah.
for? Anybody
Oh,
who was laugh for? Anybody who would die for? That's what God's for. So tension
I'm not sure.
between us, just like picket fences. You've got issues that I won't mention for now.
Yo,
'Cause
peep my
we're
hoodie, too.
falling apart.
Okay, relax.
How you keep that shit?
Yeah, I gave it
Now
back.
they
Okay, really
always say
sad.
congratulations. Work so I forgot how to vacation. They ain't never had the dedication. People hate and say we changed, but look, we made it. Yeah, we made it.
Am I in frame?
I just put you in frame while that was happening for this slide. So once again, that was amazing. I hope you all enjoyed that. I know when I heard it the first time, I thought it was really amazing. So we're gonna go into some basic questions and a little bit of info on you. So Dante, if you want to go into that.
Yeah. So Brittany, I just want to ask, when did you start exactly like singing? Would you say you've been doing it for like all your life, and how long have you been doing it?
Well, I started singing in a choir at my church when I was just like 5. Like I was just in like kindergarten. And I don't know, my mom told me that I just loved to sing like when I was that young, so I just like kept doing it and I love it till now.
No, that's awesome. Can you think of any like significant events in your like singing career that you'd like to share right now? Anything that stands out?
Okay, this one stands out. It's actually like it's like good and bad.
Okay.
In grade 9 actually.
Okay.
I tried out for concept like at school.
Yeah.
Like show.
Just for everybody that doesn't know
Yeah.
exactly what concept is, it's like a sort of musical production, would you say? Showcases
like-
some talent.
Yeah, showcases the arts, like dancing, singing, acting.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't make it.
Really?
Really?
Like I didn't make it. Yeah.
Wow.
So
That
I
is-
literally, I was like, wow,
You're,
I
like,
suck.
obviously
Wait, I'm
there.
gonna be honest with you. There is some less than amazing performances in concept.
Yeah.
So that's crazy to me to hear that
Wow.
they didn't let you in.
Yeah, I didn't make it into grade 9 concept, so I was like, wow, it must not be good or something. So like that kind of like put me down. But I did coffee house. Like you don't have to audition or anything. People were like so
They just
surprised I
show
didn't
up.
make it.
Yeah.
They were like, what the heck? Like you totally should have made it. And then I don't know, those comments just I just tried out next year and I made it. And
True.
it
Now,
was
would you
significant
say...
because like oh, go
Sorry.
ahead.
No, keep
No,
going.
go ahead. I'm done. You go ahead.
All right. I was just gonna say, would you say between those two that you practiced a lot, or like do you practice a lot in general, or are you kind of just naturally talented, or what?
I've never taken lessons before, so
Oh,
like
wow.
yeah. I guess you could say it's natural.
That's sweet. That's sweet. So do you just try to sort of sing any chance you get, or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
So I know, Brittany, you were in a band. I know that that one might have had a bit. The one I'm talking about might have had some falling out. What major people have you worked with, through your career as a singer?
Yeah.
I worked with. He went to WCI. His name is Ken Gao. He's a music producer. He makes a lot of music, and he let me sing one of his songs. And you can find that on like any music platform. It's called "Looking at Me." I'm sure a lot of you who's watching knows that song if you know me. And recently, I've been working with this guy. I got connected through a friend. He also makes music. He makes EDM beats and stuff. So he lives back and forth in California and Waterloo.
Oh wow.
So he sent me a beat and I made some lyrics, ripped up the song for him, and
Wow.
it should be out soon.
Oh, well, let us know, and we'll be sure to let people know about that on the podcast
Yeah,
and
we should
tweet
put
it
it
out.
in the description later.
Yeah, for sure.
Whenever it comes
I'm,
out.
I'm excited because, believe it or not, before I did some research, I was talking to Brittany, and I said, what music do you want us to showcase? And she gave me that song with I don't want to say Ken Bone. Sorry. Ken Gao, right?
Yeah.
And like I added it to my regular music playlist. I was like, wait, this is
Really?
really high quality. Like,
Yeah.
It's really
not
good.
even
I've listened to it a few times.
Yeah, no, I think it's actually like really high quality, and that's why it's very nice to have both you and Max on the show today. And to transition that, this isn't an interview per se; it's more of a discussion. So
Yep.
we're not going into your entire history as a musical artist, and we're not going to go into all of Max's history because we know Max could talk about his art for. The entire podcast. Am I right? Anyways, Max is a graphic artist from Waterloo. You've seen his work. I've seen his work. He's most famous for his album covers for rappers and music creators in the Toronto area. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think you do some things a little widespread.
No, definitely. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I work like across North America and then in Europe a bit, but like mostly, like my main people are in Toronto. Yeah.
And if I had like to describe Max in one word, because I know him well, he's a good friend of mine, I describe him as a grinder when it comes to his passion. Because Max is the type of guy that he'll spend, the regular amount of hours a week, working on client work, creative work, any work that he feels like, really drives him. But what's crazy about Max is that when he's not doing work, he's still pursuing this passion because he's on his phone, he's networking, he's involving himself in the culture of the people he works with. He's constantly doing research, finding what's new, what to get on board with. He's talking to producers, talking to everyone through the music community. And like, we had a joke running for a long time, which was Max knows a guy, right? Because whenever we were referring to a music producer or something, Max would be like, oh, I worked with someone who worked with him. But like, it's not even a joke. It's actually truth. That Max is just the type of guy that puts himself out there because it's what you love to do. Is that fair to say?
For sure. No, definitely.
So a couple questions for you, Max.
For sure.
So, how long have you been doing graphic design?
Okay, so like 4 years. I started designing when I was like 13 for some YouTubers because I wanted to be their friends. So I was like, yo, I can make friends with them if I like make art for them. And
Are your
then
friends today?
no, not anymore, but it worked. It worked.
Yeah?
And then like that just garnered my interest, and I got like more and more into it. Like I've always liked design, like I've always liked drawing, and like I've been a visual person. So I definitely I lended to design very much so. And then I got really into Call of Duty, graphic design community for like a year or two, and then I worked with a bunch of esports teams. I know there's some nerds in here, so like I worked with like CLG and Complexity for a while, like some pretty big orgs. And then I just my interest changed from playing video games to music, or like just music in general. And I saw some other people on like Twitter and stuff putting out their cover work and just like kind of shifting more into that area. So it's like, yo, it makes sense for me. Like I can make a lot more money from this, and like it's cool and it interests me. So yeah, since then I've been doing mainly cover design, like artwork, branding for rappers and other musicians and shit. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, how long did it take before you were really any good? Before you were at a point where you could look back at your work and be like, this is actually good stuff.
Okay, so that depends. I'd say like for my esports stuff and like all the Call of Duty's design, it'd probably be like 2 years. I'd say, well, it's because like I had to learn how to like really design, and like my eye developed a lot more. But I'd say that like probably within the last like 6 months to 8 years when I could say that I'm like actually at like an industry level of design, like actually
you've really been refining your style, good. Right?
Yeah, like where I'm like proud of my work, and I can say like this is like very, very, very good.
And in a second we're gonna do a little showcase of some of your work, and you're gonna walk us through it. But what significant events really stand out to you throughout your career as a graphic artist?
Ooh, yeah, probably the coolest thing that design has done for me was when I was in Toronto this summer, and I just got to hang out at clubs at night with a bunch of rappers, and everybody thought I was like of age. So I just got really fucking drunk.
Dope, man. That's dope.
Yeah, no, it was a good time. But yeah, that was sick. Like it was just cool to be able to be like in the scene and see what the, I guess, like rock star lifestyle is like, more or less.
That's awesome.
That's sick, man. Yeah. Like, and you're a person that I know you've talked to me a few times. You're going to university. Like you are not necessarily pursuing graphic design, right?
Yeah, for sure. No, like I don't want to do this as my career forever. I'm probably gonna go into a business program somewhere.
Yeah, but I mean, the amount of time you spend on it, you could say you're doing it part-time at this point, right?
Well, like this is like I'm self-employed. Like all the money that I make is off this, and like I make enough to support myself and like pay for some university shit and whatever. So like I'm at a good point with it, and like I'll be able to continue it throughout university, which is also good just because like I'm self-employed. But no, like not something I'd want to do as a career overall. Just because like it's also unstable.
Yeah, honestly. For sure, man. For sure. So now we're gonna go into some of your art. Let me just give me a second to pull it up. I think it's all cover art, right? It's a lot of your recent work.
What I sent you, yeah.
Yeah. Hold up. It's gonna work. Don't worry.
Perfect.
Don't worry. We're working her out.
Bet.
All right. So, do you have the stream open live, Max?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so you can walk us through. So
Yeah, just once the delay, like there's like a 5-10 second delay.
Yeah, it's
so
not
I'll
that
let you
bad.
know when I see it. Okay, bet. So first one, yeah, this is. I made this for a guy named Angelo, who Brittany loves. He used to be like really big on Vine, and then he started rapping and stuff. So this is like one of my more recent pieces within like the last month. I just sent it to you because I thought it looked sick.
Yeah, it does look sick. I agree.
I like it. That's awesome.
Yeah, like the image itself was like a picture in the daytime in like somewhere in Japan, and then I just put like the sky in the background and all the fireworks and like moon and all that shit. And, like did all the blending and lighting and color correction to make it look better. But yeah.
And
like
then
that's
here's this next piece.
Word. Oh, word. Okay, so this is an alternate cover that I did, like just like for fun. For the cozy tapes. This was probably like a piece of mine that at least on social media has done the best, like in regards to alt covers, like when it wasn't official.
Yeah.
I included this in here just because like it's sick.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Like I think that it was probably at that point that I made it, it was the best like manipulation I had done, because like none of that is together. Like it's a separate picture of a storefront, of a coat, of like a rack, of like all of that stuff is all like separate images that I put together and like
layers
blended.
on layers on layers.
Exactly. And then like the attention to detail with like the tape and on the images, like taping them to the window and like the reflections and everything. Just
That's
I think
amazing.
that yeah, like it was really one of my best executed pieces, at least when I did it, and that was like in the summer.
Dope.
Dude, I saw this all over my Twitter. This was in a contest or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
How'd it do?
I got like second or something. Oh yeah, this one.
That's
This was
amazing.
yeah. So this one, this is
This one,
for
ooh.
ASAP. Yeah, this was also competition. This was like, this is one of my older pieces. It was like October 2016. For Turn and Burn. It was like a competition that ASAP Ferg was running. I didn't win, but I almost won. I got to like, he DM'd me about it, and I ended up doing some more work with him, which is good.
Exactly, right? That's what matters.
Yeah, exactly.
Making connections.
Yeah, but no, this is another sick piece. This is probably, once again, like at the time of me making it, that was like my best piece by far, just because like the intricacies and the fire and all that shit looked really cool.
I love that, man.
This next piece, obviously, I don't think you actually worked with them, but what was this one for?
Oh yeah, no, I did work with them.
Oh, did you? Straight
It's
up?
official. Yeah, it's official.
Yo, that's
yeah.
sick, yo.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, that's official.
No.
Yeah, so that was a manipulation. I made that in my cousin's bedroom in Winnipeg at like 3 a.m.
I mean, if the opportunity arises, right?
Yeah, right. No, for sure. Yeah, that's another sick one. Like that's probably my favorite manipulation I've done, just because like it looks pretty real. Like both those two jet skis were actually like separate pictures. And then it was also both white guys on the jet skis, so I had to make them black. I had to
Straight up
put the heads on them and all that, and like do all the blending. Yeah, but like, nah, I love this piece. Like, I just think that it's pretty like simplistic.
I mean, you couldn't even tell. Like the water looks like it's both of them. You know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
See, that's what I was going for. Right? Like that. I mean, that's why.
Yeah.
Like that's why people fuck with me, is because like I can make cool shit.
Yeah.
But no, for sure. Like this is a sick piece.
Dude, that's sick. I didn't know you worked with them. That's my bad.
No, it's cool.
Oh, this one's one of my favorites.
Oh wait, hold on. I have to wait for it to come up on the stream.
It's one of my favorites too, actually. Yeah.
Oh, word. Yeah. Okay. Do you want me to go into the little Killy backstory now?
Dude, you know what? You got
Here we
some
go.
time. You got some
It's
time.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
gotta-
Okay.
you gotta
I'm sorry.
go.
Yeah. I'm sorry for talking too much. Yeah. So this is a piece for Killy. I started working with Killy in like May of 2017. This was the first piece that we did. Like we both kind of had the creative direction, and then I just executed. This is definitely the piece that has done the most for me in my career, just because this song itself just like blew up so much.
Sick song, sick
And
song.
then like yeah, and it just got so many eyes on my work, which was sick, and it definitely led to other people like coming to me for work all the time and having that consistent working consistently with Killy. Like he really like in regards to people who I've like worked with consistently from like around the beginning of their career, he's by far the biggest. Like he's gonna get so much bigger so quickly.
Is that like something that means a lot to you, like when you are able to make these connections with like people
for sure.
Yeah,
like just because with Killy I was able to like develop his artistic or like his art direction, right? Because like I did the cover for this, did the cover for Distance and Forecast as well, and
You
I was
did
supposed to do
Forecast and Distance too?
yeah, like I
Dang,
do
bro.
all his art. Yeah.
Wow.
No, like I know him like real life. Yo, go on my Instagram,
So guys,
bro.
yeah.
Guys, straight up, look at this. This is just my phone recently added to my music.
Yeah.
Not even
Gang.
for the podcast.
Yeah.
Not
No,
even for the podcast, y'all. For
Yeah.
real.
That's hard. Okay. And then yeah, this last one was a cover for his project that's coming out sooner or later. This is just a concept that I did with my friend August. Like for the project's called Surrender Your Soul.
This one's dope too, man.
Yeah. Like I just figured like it looked pretty sick. So I include it. The 3D, it's half 3D renderings, half like my design. So like the door itself and the like the landscape in the background was a 3D rendering done by him, but like I did all the coloration and then everything else around it.
How long does one of these pieces take you on average?
So that like it really depends.
Yeah.
Because
Fair
it depends on what the artist is saying and like how many edits I have to go through to get the final product that they want. I think that this took me like 2 or 3 hours to put together.
Oh, really? So.
Yeah.
Damn.
So like I don't like sit at my computer for like 12 hours doing every little part, but like I still put in like time.
I mean,
it's just
if it looks good, right?
Yeah, no, and it's also just because since I've been designing for 4 years, like I'm a lot more efficient than I would be. So like I can just like do whatever I want, basically.
Yeah.
Like within Photoshop.
You're not wasting time just like figuring
Yeah,
shit out.
exactly. No,
feel you.
but I'm looking forward to this project to drop for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely let us know and we'll I mean, you're pretty big, so don't know how much you're helping, but we'll let everyone know.
I appreciate every little thing.
Yeah.
Come on.
All right.
That's awesome.
For sure.
So that's sick. You guys get to see our document because I don't know how to change scenes properly. And so those are our two artists on here today. I think you can see why we have had them. They both have, long stories, and Brittany, I had no idea that you had been denied. That's actually like kind of like a come up story. Like that's it.
Yeah.
And I knew Max had a lot. He likes to talk about it, but I like to listen.
Okay.
I like. Hey, I like to listen though. So there's that. A couple more people we're gonna cover. Right off the bat is we're gonna talk about Paramind for a second. Now, you did an interview with Paramind, right, Max?
Yeah, like earlier this year.
So,
like September, October.
So Paramind is run by another member of WCI, Guy Mizrahi. He is, I talked to him about it. I asked him a few questions. Paramind is a website, 100% designed by him, where he just wanted to become kind of a fly on the wall in the music community. I'm gonna show it now. He wanted to, make his mark. Really, he wanted to be part of this culture because he really enjoys it. So instead of just sitting around and listening to music, he went out there and made this website and grinded. He said he worked up to 15 hours a week doing interviews with smaller people. Building up his brand to the point where he's working with some pretty significant people at that age, not just his friends, because he's garnered this respect. So you see, he's got all these articles, and they're very high quality. It's a lot of question and answer. It's a lot of interview type things. But then he has some of the opinion pieces as well. So I think it's really cool what he was able to do. Do you have an opinion on it, Brittany or Max?
Yeah. No, I love Guy. I definitely have seen this develop since its inception. I talked about it with him, I've talked about it with him a lot for the past couple months, just helping him kind of work within the scene and giving him a little guidance, I guess, or mentorship per se. But no, he's a sick person. Like, he definitely has the passion, puts in the work, and he's executed very well so far. So I'm excited to see how it further develops and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on this website quite a bit actually lately, since about last week actually. Caught on late. Obviously, I'm late to the game on everything apparently. But yeah, I listened to a few things, read a few interviews. I love it. I love it, and it's so cool that I mean, I know the guy that writes it, right? Not very well, but it's awesome.
You don't know him very well.
Not very well.
He doesn't write it very well. No, straight up,
Oh, come
straight up.
on.
I feel like it's really well done, especially for like he has people working with him now. But originally it was a one-person project. Originally it was him, you know. It was
Well, no, the blog is still all him.
yeah, exactly. I mean, no, he says he has one person working under him now to give him, to focus
Oh,
on
for
school a
real?
bit. Yeah, which is sick,
Yeah.
Grow it, right?
He said in the chat to go to my interview. Guy did.
Go to your interview.
I've only read Max's interview from his website.
Jeez.
My
Wow.
bad.
My bad. Good evening, Daddy Toothache. Yo.
Wait. Hold up. Listen. I am a professional. You want me to go to Max's interview? Yeah, sure. I'll check it out for a second.
Yeah, let's check out Max's interview here.
Hold up. Just like,
See if you can find it.
yeah, I just gotta load. It's a dope website. I actually kind of
That's
like the
bad.
layout of the website. Ooh, an interview with a star album designer. Holy, look at this guy.
Okay.
So, question and answer. I think it's dope. I read this entire interview personally.
There it is. There, yeah.
I like how Max answers in words that I don't understand, but I try to learn. I mean, that's just part of you, like being part of the culture of Toronto, right? Like,
Don't fry me.
Being
Yeah.
the culture of Toronto.
no,
Like,
like,
want to learn a new word?
That's that.
yeah,
Just listen to Max for a little bit.
yeah, no, Max.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll talk to him. I'll be like, all right, well, let me pull up my phone.
Yo, is this just a roast? Is this just a roast session?
No.
Really?
I'm saying it's dope, man. I'm saying it's dope. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just little jokes here and there. But no, Paramind is sick, and it's different. It's different than the generic, passion project you can do. It's wanted to be part of the scene, made himself part of the scene, straight up, which is like I think that's sick.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sweet.
So we're gonna talk about a couple more things. One more guy I wanted to talk about is a bit of a meme creator here, and the reason I want to talk about him is because of what I said to him. Now, a lot of you know Andre Sakara, Big Lump.
Lump.
Not
Shout out.
a serious music guy. He makes fun things, but this is about passion projects, and what's crazy about this is that I went up to him, business class, and I said to him, "Hey man, what have you been up to these days?" And he said, I've just been like doing a lot of school." And I'm like, "Man, everyone's doing school. Everyone's doing work. Like, don't tell me that, right? Tell me what's making you happy." And to see his eyes light up when he actually talked about his music, you could tell, like, although it is kind of a joke to him, he actually cares. Like, and it actually makes him happy to do this type of thing. And I think that's like the essence of a passion project, is like, even if people are going to see it as a joke, even if you make it as a joke, if it's making you happy and it's like, something you're proud of, even if it's you talk to him about it, he's like, "Oh, it's just a meme, bro." But if you talk to him seriously about it, you see his eyes light up. He's into it. He wants to talk about what he's been working on. And I think that's the essence of a passion project, really.
Yeah, I've been talking to him a little bit, and I was talking to him more. I had a class with him last semester, and man, I mean, he grinds it out too. Holy cow, he's so in love with it, right? He's never scared to show you what he's working on. It's great. He
Even if it's not that good.
Well, of course.
Straight up.
Honestly.
Listen, Money was sick. Money was a good one.
Yeah, it's with the passion. But I mean, yeah, he'll like bounce lyrics off you and stuff like that. I think he just bought a new mic. He's been learning Audacity and stuff. Like, it's just cool. It's cool to see someone following their dreams.
Hashtag take
know.
big lumps seriously.
Sure.
Hashtag.
trending.
Okay.
And then you wanted to go into someone who's a little bit more established, Dante?
Yeah, so I think he's in the chat right now. Shout out Scarface. So obviously everyone knows what SoundCloud is. Max, is it fair to say that SoundCloud's helped you out at all in your career?
Of course, yeah. No, I mean the majority of the artists who I work with started on SoundCloud.
Of course.
sure.
And Brittany, do you have any songs on SoundCloud right now?
I recently just got SoundCloud. I'm gonna
That's
try to use it.
Do it.
Well,
Do it.
The song she did with Ken is on SoundCloud.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's where I listened to that one a few times. It's also on Apple Music, right?
Yeah, it's on Apple Music,
Yeah.
Spotify.
Flex.
Sweet. Dang. Okay.
You're not the only one, Max. You're not the only one.
Yeah, so this is a good friend of mine actually. He's just a normal guy. His name's Isaiah. He works with me. I met him through work, and we grew pretty close. He told me one night. I was like, "What are you doing tonight?" He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go work on my SoundCloud." I was like, "Your SoundCloud? Like what? Like, are you for real?" He's like, "Yeah." So I checked him out. His name's Scarface, Skarfase, on SoundCloud. This guy's a music producer. He learned Fruity Loops and just sort of just dove right in. Personally, I love his stuff. Okay, and that's not just because I'm friends with him, right? I really do. Me and my friends, whenever we're in the car, throw on one of his beats.
It's really crazy how like amateur quote unquote people can make such actually professional sounding or professional looking things, right?
Can be so good. So I texted him a couple questions here. I just asked him, why he does it basically, and what got him into it. And so he sent me this response. I'm just gonna read it because I don't want to try to paraphrase. Just see what he said in his words. So he says, "So I pretty much got into music as a way to get away from everything. I used to be crazy depressed with different things going on in my life. I lost my dad as well as others and that held a high part within my life. Scarface came first off presenting a very literal scar on my face above my eye, as well as a representation of pain I've gone through and continue to go through, but my music saves me from all of it. Currently, Scarface is something I pour my heart and soul into. It means so much, and I hope others can see that." That's crazy to me, man.
Dude, that's deep, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. It relates a lot to last week. Last week, talking about mental health on the podcast here. We're talking about happy spaces. I think it's pretty safe to say that even through all this darkness and depression, right, through that can come so much art and good quality art, right? So I love it. I totally recommend you guys go check that out. Links in the description down below if you want to go see that at any point.
When we hit up the discussion part of the podcast, we're going to talk a bit more about how it helps you mentally to work on passion projects and the feelings you get from that. But to hear that story, that's like the essence, really.
That's crazy. Yeah, I think that's exactly what we were talking about.
And then shout out to Scarface once again. Deep story. That's sick,
I
man.
see bricks.
Shout out.
Now I'm going to cover something that a lot of people are waiting for. It's how not to pursue a passion project. Featuring another SoundCloud rapper from KW who, believe it or not, might not have quite made it as much as it may seem. So this is Numb.
Oh yeah.
This is Numb, also known as Jordan Cerritos. Now listen, a lot of people are gonna go in on me why are you exposing this man? Listen, he stole my copy of FIFA 14 in grade 7, and I'm not a hold grudges, but he begged me to borrow it, and I asked him every week. I was like, "Yo, where's my FIFA, bro?" I swear he pawned that shit off. Listen, I was pissed.
So first thing here, guys. Let's just take a look. If you guys just want to look at the description, his little information, let's just read it together. Singer, songwriter, rapper, video editor, photo editor. Oh my.
Yo, he's the whole package,
It's just
A lot going on, bro.
So
know?
how can we contact him? You know? Okay. Well, let's see. What does it say here?
Straight up.
Business inquires.
For business
Yeah.
inquiries.
Wait, what?
Now,
No.
Woo!
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's an inquiry.
You know.
But so there's your first red flag, right?
Oh no.
But
Okay, let's
you
keep
know,
going.
where's he
Keep
living?
going.
Where's he living?
Oh, Ontario, Canada.
No,
Oh,
he's
but
living
no,
nowhere.
he's moving nowhere. Yeah, listen.
Come on, yo.
Yo, it's deep.
My guy's homeless out here.
So you know,
A
I
homeless SoundCloud rapper.
I'm gonna be honest. I found him. I think I saw him like a subtweet or something, and I was like, oh, look at him. Look, you know, he's doing well for himself. I'm hyped to hear that. He was a good friend of mine growing up, so I was like, oh, you know, 10K followers almost. Seems to be doing pretty well on
10K
Twitter.
followers. Holy.
Pin tweet.
Look
One.
at
Tweet himself.
Now, pin
No,
tweet
hold
from
on.
November 2017. Like this is a deep tweet. Now I don't know about you guys, but I'm no famous, and my pin tweet has a little bit more love than that.
Yo,
come
literally one retweet, one like.
But anyways,
10K followers.
first thing I did was I googled him. I was like, Numb, you know, he's got to show up.
You know,
Doesn't show up. Listen,
balling.
I'm
He's got
scrolling.
10K, bro.
I'm scrolling for pages. He's nowhere to be seen. Listen, I looked
He's
up
not
Numb
there.
Jordan Cerritos. It's not there. You go to SoundCloud. He's like featured in like some stuff. But
Bro, I don't think he has a song up. This song pinned at the top, he's featured on it. It's not his song.
the problem
I
is
think
we're
I
gonna.
found his-
Yeah, you think you found?
I think I found his page. Top song, maybe triple digits. I don't think so though.
You start scrolling through his followers. You start seeing some of these accounts. Some of these no
Uh-oh.
picture, no banner accounts with
Uh-oh.
pretty generic usernames.
Bro, you got all these brown people. Yo, I swear, you always know it's fake followers when you see all these random ass Arabic bios, and, like all these numbers, bro.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so yeah, some of those are like good bots, right? But then you get these. You're telling me Angelica at Angelic 02523859 isn't a
Okay.
real person?
Dude, she's a big Numb fan.
Yeah, I
Watch
know.
yourself,
Yo,
man.
listen. Just because she follows only Numb and like a bunch of other people who paid for the service. So you know, you scroll down and it's like you see a little bit of this, and it's like, okay,
A little bit
well,
here and there.
well,
okay,
you know, he seems to be
Exposed,
legit. You know, hard exposed. But then you
Oh,
scroll a bit
no.
more, and they start getting a little bit more common. And you start,
no.
no, like,
Bro, you get like 200 down from that. I guarantee it's just like, oh
it's,
yeah, there you go. Now
yeah,
you're hitting it,
it's no, no, man. Listen,
Oh, no.
no, what are you doing, man? Listen.
Buy bots on Twitter.
The expression is fake it till you make it, right? Which
Ooh.
what it means by that is to be professional, you know? Act professional, act like you've already made it. But don't cheat, man. Don't follow a bot like like it's just gonna like it's so easy to see this, right? They're not even like high quality followers. You didn't even get like bots on your pinned tweet. Listen. Listen, it took me 2 minutes to start suspecting something, and that's the wrong way to pursue passion. Like I said,
Man.
Big Lump, not that super successful, especially compared to some of the other people we've referenced today. But he likes
Like,
doing what he does, right?
This guy right here.
Yeah, this guy. He likes doing what he likes doing, and you know, it makes him happy just to do it for a few people. So I'd rather, you know, personally, I'd rather have 5 real fans than 10,000 Sharif Nadafs. Straight up. So sorry about that. I hope he does. If he sees this, I'm hiding. It wasn't me. It was Dante's idea. He was hyped.
Oh no. Alright.
All right. So we're gonna transition to more discussion now. If you want to preface that,
Yeah.
Dante.
Yeah, for sure. So we're just gonna talk now, sort of in general here, guys. Max, Brittany, totally feel free to chime in, free to answer any of these. But yeah, so Griffin, you had a first question.
Yeah,
here
okay.
you wanted to ask?
So some of these questions, I'm more direct them at people. Some of them are gonna be open. They're all open conversations. So if you guys want to bounce
Okay.
back and forth, this is like the more
Yeah.
discussion part of the podcast. The other part was,
Yeah.
you know, more jokes and you
Only
know,
thing we
learn-
ask
yeah.
here is maybe try to not talk too much when other people are talking, and yeah, just pause when you're done.
And we're gonna shut up a lot now because we don't know
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, that's right, you guys.
So why did you start your passion project and, you know, your passion what keeps you going and like what drives you to keep going? So maybe start with Brittany.
Sure.
I guess I'd have to say the people. That sounds like I have fans, but I don't. But like,
You do.
um,
I'm a fan.
No, fam.
Straight
no,
up.
like,
You got at least
I don't
three.
like when people say like they like my singing and like, oh, you should like post on your Instagram or like make a YouTube channel. Like they like generally enjoy listening to my voice, so it just makes me want to sing.
Praise is
Yeah.
underrated these days. People don't give each other enough praise. I'm gonna be straight up about
Mhm.
that. Like it feels good when you get it because it's so rare. And like
Yeah.
why did you start originally? Did you just like singing as a kid or?
Yeah, I guess I just like singing. People said I was good, so.
Hey, I think you're good. Same question to you, Max. Why'd you start and what drives you?
Well, I explained earlier my little starting story, but what drives me, um, like it's fun, honestly. Like I just really enjoy it. Like it's just like obviously like it's a personal passion, but um, it's just fun to be able to design and like I make money. So that's good. I get to be like friends with the people who I work with, so I get to be friends with the people who I like listen to, which is sick.
That's sick. Yep.
Um, and then obviously like I enjoy the art, and like really, it's just nice to be able to like I guess have a platform that you can do a lot with, right?
Mhm.
Because
Nice to be
like
known.
even for yeah, like even for myself right now, like I have clothes that I'm or like shirts that I'm selling and they're like selling well, and like I'll probably be able to move them all before the end of the month, which is sick. And then like just a couple other business ventures going, and like it just gives you a lot more flexibility to
Open
do
stores,
really
right?
whatever you want, right? Yeah, no, for sure. And just overall being able to have just like being able to have a platform that you can do stuff with is sick. Like that you can do anything you want with is nice.
Last week on the podcast, I talked about like why I love doing this podcast, and some people know I stream on the side, but like I resonate a lot with what you said because like I really like the idea of my opinion meaning something, especially when it's talking about things I care about, and through these passion projects, you can prove yourself to be someone whose opinion you have relevance in the community you're in. Like when you say something, people are gonna listen, and that's something that personally I can really resonates with me.
Word.
Next question. Hard work versus fun work. So
Mm-hmm.
when you get schoolwork, I don't know what your least favorite subject is. I've had some bad ones. I don't like math. I didn't like grade 12 bio, right? But I know
Mm-hmm.
working on passion projects, I could work on a podcast or something creative for 5 hours, like from like 12 to like 5 a.m. I'd be like, wait, it's 5 a.m. Hold up.
Yeah.
Like the time will just go by, and I could work on math for an hour and feel so drained. So what's the difference between that for you? Once again, we'll start with Brittany.
What's the question?
So like schoolwork obviously isn't. I don't know if it's your favorite thing. I don't know if you love it.
No, I
Yeah,
love schoolwork.
yeah, straight up, straight up. But
Yeah.
like, could you work on a song and have it like, be a lot, have time go a lot faster, or like, how does that feel for you?
Definitely. Like I could probably like just sit and like I don't know, I'd be on the piano trying to make songs and time just goes by so fast when you're doing something like that you love. And you're right about like that homework thing, like when you're doing like math homework for like an hour, it feels so long.
Feels so long. What about you, Max?
Yeah, I mean, hard work and fun. Like hard work, it's just like I mean, school overall for me is hard work. Like
Yeah, straight up.
I don't really like doing school, but like I put in my hours to make sure that I do well.
Mhm.
It's like it matters for me personally, and like I care. But definitely I'd say that I think that even for me, like with my design work, it can be hard work sometimes. Just like if it's just like client work and they just pay me to do it, like I don't necessarily have to like love the like music or like what they want me to make, like if I'm getting paid just because like I'm providing a service, right?
Mhm.
But definitely I'd say the majority of the time, my my design stuff is fun work for me, I think.
And like,
I think.
and like, I know for this podcast, sometimes it drags us away from our schoolwork. Like sometimes we're like, so have you struggled with that at all? Like, you ever feel like, man, why am I doing this? This is useless. I just want to like do music, or I just want to do art right now. Has you ever struggled with that? Start with Max
No.
for this one. No.
School, like, definitely, like, I don't know. I've always wanted to make a YouTube channel, but I feel like, wow, school would, like,
Yeah, you
would
should
work
have.
with
Yeah,
that.
It's too late.
No,
it's too late.
It's
now.
I
never
know,
too
it's
late.
too
It's
late.
never too
No, it's
late.
never too late.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
Straight up.
Sorry, so you should do it.
Even if like,
Mhm.
even if it's like not something like you set aside time to do it in a day, you might go slightly over because of course it's something you love. But
Yeah.
like, it doesn't have to be a huge thing, and it can be a thing that's like, I'm not doing anything right now. Why not? Why not work on this YouTube channel? And it's like, there's so many people who are going to put down something before it's big. Put down something.
Yo, no, literally, bro. I say this all the time that everything is corny until it's not.
Yeah, right.
Everybody will make fun of you and like joke about what you're doing until like other people start fucking with you. Like
Yeah.
in general, like unless they're friends with you, your locals and shit won't fuck with you until they see that like, everyone is like really
Until
like
other people
working with exactly like they need
They'll be like,
validation.
"Oh."
They need validation to support oftentimes, and like
That's
it
"Oh,
sucks.
shit, I knew him."
Yeah, it sucks, but like that's how it is.
What I'm saying, Brittany, is you actually have a bit of an established platform, at least at WCI. I know everyone. I know a lot of people who qualify you as a very talented singer, not just myself. So if you were to start, you would be able to get through some of that. You wouldn't have to deal with the startup because, of course, you've had
Yeah,
established
that's
music.
true.
So, like, I honestly,
Yeah.
like, obviously you're grinding, probably going off to university, doing big things. I'm out here going to college, you know me. But like, if you have free time, especially like downtime, like start of the year, so there's not too much going on, and even on a holiday, even if you like pick up a project, work on it for a bit, and then go, okay, school's getting hard, I'm gonna put it down.
Mhm.
It's never leaves, like Max, like I said, is always grinding, is always doing work, but I'm sure for you, like if school was really hard on you, you just take a break, right?
Yeah.
I want to see. We got family day coming up.
Mm-hmm.
We got a full day Monday.
Yo,
Oh my
record
God.
something, yo.
Wait,
Straight
yo,
up.
when is family day?
16.
In 2 weeks.
Yo,
I think.
what? February 16th.
Yeah, I think
Bet.
like the Monday.
Bet.
Yeah.
That is the deal.
Yeah. I mean, I always like record like little things, but I never put them out. I don't know why. I
do
just
it.
don't have the motivation. Like,
Yeah.
You
I
should do
just
it.
I personally think I wouldn't get anywhere. Like, that's so bad. But
Yeah, okay, that is a brick wall. That is a thing for a lot of people, is
yeah.
like,
Mm.
you see it as a waste of time, but I want to be strict with this and say how much of a not waste of time it is, because we're gonna go into a little bit more. This is more questions down the line, but you're working on skills. It's not a waste of. It's not playing video games. It's not listening to music, watching YouTube. It's not a waste of time. It's
Yeah.
it's first of all pursuing a passion, and it's like a lot of the skills will apply to you later in life, and like we'll go into that a little bit more in a second.
Yeah, and I think that even to that point, like I know for at least myself personally, like I was able to transfer some of the network that I had within like my gaming community just from like the designers who I knew, like the other graphic designers, because there was a lot of like camaraderie or whatever in that, just because it was all like basically revolving around teams, at least in the Call of Duty community. So I was able to transfer some of that like network in like fan base, I guess, into music, but like still I started like with a very small fan base, like, or at least my personal Twitter account, I obviously started with 0 followers and now I have like 2.3K. So like it's a steady progression, but
Flex.
no, I'm just saying that it's like a steady progression, and that like if
Oh,
you
yeah,
don't
for sure.
start, you'll never get anywhere.
Yeah.
But like
For sure.
I've put in like a year and a half, and then now I'm here. So like you have to at least try.
I think
like,
the
if you
fair
try
point-
and put in effort and your quality is good, people will come. Like you will get traction.
I think a fair point to say is that you don't have to actually get anywhere too. Like,
That's true.
Like,
you can just enjoy yourself.
if you're enjoying yourself, it's good. Like, obviously, like we said, a lot of the reasons why we love doing is the feedback we get from people, the people we're able to meet through pursuing passion projects. The steps on the ladder we're able to rise, and even if it's another 1,000 steps before it would actually become anything career driven, it's less for some people, more for other people. It feels, every little step you make, every little connection you make feels good. Like, I'm sure, Brittany, when you recorded that song, you felt good, right?
Oh yeah.
like,
Yeah.
like I mean, that sounds awesome. I've always loved music.
I love. I just like. I think the thing that motivates me to like, even like put things out is like hearing people listen to it, and like I don't know, when I'm just like, I have friends like playing in the car,
Oh,
and
that's
it's like it's kind of weird, but like I love it
Yeah.
because they love it. They know the lyrics.
Mhm.
Like
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, when they
That's
like
sweet.
sing my lyrics.
Okay.
No,
So it makes you happy, is what
Yeah.
you're saying, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So last week on the podcast, I said this before, we talked a lot about obviously the theme was mental health. We talked about at the end happy places, doing things that make you happy, and how that would affect your mood, affect make, sort of just improve your mental health in general, right? How would you guys say? Maybe we can start with Max on this one. I think Brittany started the last one. How would you say your artwork affects you mentally? Like, how does it affect your mental health?
Positively,
Sure.
I think that having a goal to work towards and like something to focus on definitely helps with mental health, just because like it gives you like a drive, like, or like at least if you have that drive, like it will help keep your mind off like other things, whatever. I personally have never really struggled with anything with mental health, like
Fair enough.
just like that's just how it's been. But definitely I'd say that art helps keep me sane, I guess, because definitely like if I was just going to school every day and then going home and doing my homework and then just like playing games and sleeping, which is like a very like normal thing to do, like yo, I'd go fucking crazy. Like I just get so bored.
Yeah.
Straight up, right?
Yeah. It's like it's important to have or at least I think it's important to have like a passion or something to pursue, because that way your life isn't boring.
Yeah, for sure.
That's true.
What do you think, Brittany?
Brittany, same question to you.
Well, it definitely affects me positively.
Sure.
And it makes me really happy. And it's kind of like an outlet, especially when I'm stressed. Like during exam week, I literally made like 3 songs
Wow.
because like I wanted to like get away from school.
Straight up, that's sick.
definitely just awesome. So sort of connected to that, sort of is very important, we think, in life to learn what makes you happy, and just develop a sense of like what to do when you're feeling not the greatest. Definitely, obviously, we see that that's great for both of you.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say like, how does your artwork or your singing or music, how does that change how you see the world?
Ooh, Brittany, do you want to lead off for this one? Or do you want me to go?
Sure. Oh.
Okay, bet. You go ahead.
I guess like I don't know, just like not personally being affected, but I guess kind of, because like you see like you go on YouTube and there's like so many people trying like singing, and I just find it so stupid that like people who like have no talent get famous, and like there's so many like talented people, and like it's like like Jacob Sartorius, like
Straight up, call him out, hide your girlfriend, Jacob Sartorius is on the block.
I couldn't think of anyone
That's
else.
my idol, bro.
Like he can't sing, like, and there's so many like talented, like 100 times more talented people, and like they deserve to be heard more than Jacob Sartorius.
Straight up. So, obviously you find yourself as one of these talented people. Don't lie to me.
Relax.
Yeah. You're out here, you're like, should I make a Musically account? Like, straight up. I'd watch him. I mean, no, I wouldn't, but
Oh, no.
Listen, I'll follow your YouTube channel. I'm not watching any Musicallys.
No.
Yo. Okay, what was your question again? It was how's
it like change your view of the
my
world?
outlook?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
outlook
pause.
on the world,
Okay,
view of the
before I go, can I just say, yo, this chat is so funny.
Yeah, I know, it's so funny, right?
They're so jokes.
I
It's
can't
fine
stop
not to
reading
read.
it.
Yeah,
It's
we're,
so
we're gonna be
funny.
reading.
And-
We're nearing the end of the discussion, so
Yeah.
we'll be
Oh, and
looking at chat.
and also Jacob, yeah, I did only make my bed for the podcast, bro, and I didn't want nobody to expose me.
Mine's
Okay,
me.
I'm trying
so
not to read it.
how did
How does it
how
change
did-
your
how
outlook
does
of
it
the
change
world?
my outlook on life?
Yeah.
I think that it definitely makes me a lot more aware of how the world works, just like being able to work as like a professional within an industry.
Yeah.
Like it just gives you that, like having that like real life experience and like dealing with people and dealing with like money and like relations and
And
you
you're
know
what,
dealing
17?
with shitty customers
18?
and everything. It's 17, yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, like way ahead of the
Yeah.
block for a lot of people who like don't do this type of thing, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. But I mean, I would say that it just provides a more well-rounded outlook on life, I guess, just because I don't only have experience as a student and like a teenager, but like as a professional as well. Like when I go into a lot of situations when I'm like actually meeting with people from like the music industry, whatever, or like even just online, like most people don't think I'm 17 just because of what I'm doing, which is
Yeah.
nice.
They're like,
But-
and then if you tell them you're 17, it's almost like a good thing, right? It's like, wow, you've done that much.
Yeah,
Right?
I don't usually talk about my age just 'cause
Yeah.
I don't like it's just what matters more is about like the work.
How old are you? Shows picture of work.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah, the art definitely speaks for itself.
How old are you? Oh, I've been doing art for a bunch of years. No, like straight up.
All right, Griffin, you have.
Oh yeah. So
things to
now we're
say
gonna
there?
talk about skills, networking, problem solving, and branding, which are all
Mhm.
things you'll learn, or you can learn through pursuing a passion project and really growing yourself as a person. So I know Max, famous for networking. Like, I follow the man on Twitter, and it's almost like every hour he's talking to someone else, and I'm like, all right, well, that's Max. You know, he's always networking, and like that's what I spoke on him being a grinder. But we'll start with Brittany for this one. Do you feel like singing has like taught you anything about, problem solving and like networking with people?
Max can go first. Let me think on
Okay,
this.
for sure.
So you're saying has my like artwork career helped me with problem solving?
Like skills,
general?
and just any skills, but I was like giving you examples like
Oh yeah,
networking,
no,
problem
for
solving,
sure.
branding.
Like, oh god, yeah, 1,000,000%. Networking for sure is probably the biggest thing that I've gained from it. Just like knowing how to talk to people and like knowing how to establish connections with individuals who like you never have like talked to in your life, or like even like it's just because oftentimes, especially within like music, people will put artists on a pedestal, and like it's you have to like really understand that you have to treat them like equals and not like superiors, I guess. So I think that is something that can be transferred across life in a lot of ways because everyone's just people. But overall, like problem solving, just working with people in general, like working with bad clients, as I said before, like problematic people, understanding
Shut
how
up.
to understanding how to develop my own presence on social media and like just social media growth hacking in general on Instagram and Twitter and all that. Just like I don't know, it's a lot of applicable skills that I've been able to gain from this and that I'll be able to use for the rest of my life, which is good.
Would you say a lot of the time you've been on the low ground when it comes to like a interaction?
I would say that oftentimes, especially with larger acts, obviously I'm the one inquiring to them.
Yeah.
But once the relationship is established, I'd say that they treat me with the same respect.
And knowing how to get from like I said, sorry, the low ground or whatever, like looking up at someone to their equal, right? That's obviously a huge skill. That's gonna help you a ton in business, like you said you're pursuing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like you just like you really set the tone in your interactions, right? So like if you concede that you feel as though they are better than you in some way, shape, or form, then obviously they will treat you like they are better than you. But like if you just come into the interaction at like you're equals because you're both just human beings, like even if your achievements may vary, like if you just treat them as though you're equals and like you feel as though you're equals, you will be treated as such.
Cockiness versus confidence, right?
Yeah, 100%. Like, and even personally, like that's a hard
Distinction.
line for myself. Like like I can definitely be cocky sometimes, which is like bad. Like I don't actively try to, and like sometimes I don't even acknowledge it, just because like I've always like made sure that I'm confident in social situations or just like in inquiries to make sure that I don't like I have a level playing field, like that I'm able to be treated with the utmost respect that I can and get as much as I like want to out of each interaction, I guess.
Hey, Mr. Killy, sir, can I do a little?
Yeah, right? See, exactly.
Yeah.
But no, like,
could I'm a bit of a smaller artist, and I would love if I
so,
could
like,
do some concept work for you, maybe. I mean, if you don't want to, that's straight up. What about you, Brittany?
Well, I haven't worked with like a lot of people like Max.
Straight up.
But the people that I have worked with, you know, like it's good to work with like a whole bunch of people because you pick up new things like with everyone you work with. Like everyone has different styles or like has different advice, you know. So
I mean, I know you were in a band, and like I've heard different sides of that story of why it mowed down a bit. Do you feel like you had to like solve a lot of problems within that band, like
wait, what band are we talking
the
about?
WCI one you always performed with?
Oh, the WCI one.
Yeah.
I honestly don't even know why that died down.
Really?
Cause you're waste.
It was so good though. Like
actually,
No, you
this
actually are
assembly, I turned down this assembly.
Wait.
tomorrow.
Okay.
Yo, take my spot. I'm in it.
Wow.
Straight up.
No big deal, but
Yo, Griffin, are we gonna see that, or are we gonna be gone?
Yeah, we're there.
For Deca?
I'm
Oh,
pretty
word.
sure we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Dante, you had like one of the last points to end on.
yeah. So I think this is the last question. We're probably have about maybe 10 more minutes here, guys, and then we'll move into our question period. Obviously, we're excited to have Max and Brittany answering questions as well. But yeah, so our official YouTube podcast will be concluding maybe about 10 minutes. So yeah, just to wrap it up here, I have one last question. So, talking about free time, and especially obviously we know things get busy. School starting back up again. Obviously, we had a crazy busy week a couple weeks ago. In these last couple weeks, we talked about that last week. How 30-40% of our year was in the last 2 weeks, right?
Stupid,
obviously,
man. Stupid.
Crazy. Obviously affecting us a lot. But you know, talking about free time again, when things get busy, do you guys stop pursuing your passion, or do you make time? Obviously, Max, I know for you personally, right? It is a job, so you do have to make time.
Yeah.
But if you do stop, how does this affect you? And just maybe discuss the importance of a creative outlet. So yeah, so when things get busy, do you stop doing your passion? Or do you make?
Yeah, I'm gonna let Brittany go first on this one because I've talked way more than her.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Say that question one more time.
Yeah. So just talking about free time. When things get busy, do you normally like make time for your passion?
Do you feel like
or do
pressure
you
to like
just stop doing
stop
it?
and like focus on school, or like that type of thing? And like, what's the importance of a
I
creative
don't know.
outlet to you?
I don't know. My parents, they're like so like supportive when it comes to singing, which I'm so thankful for. Because like I know that a lot of like parents might be like, that's not gonna put you anywhere. Like my parents always like, yeah, like we'll buy you a camera, we'll buy you a mic, and like record stuff, and like so like they allow me to have like this to like kind of like bring my passion more forward. And but yeah, I make a lot of free time for my singing, and hopefully I will in the future, especially in university.
Especially on this next family day here.
Yeah. Look out for it. Look out for it.
Yeah, something's coming.
Maybe we'll see.
No, I'm excited. I'm excited. What about you, Max?
Can you restate the question? I just
Okay,
want to make sure I'm
so
answering it right.
yeah, so
Go ahead.
I'll go ahead. Yeah. So yeah, so when things get busy,
Mhm.
do you normally stop doing your passion? Do you make time? And I think we're more specifically talking here for you, not about the job part, but maybe just making art in general, like those pieces you made for those contests, stuff like that.
Mhm.
And like, I want to emphasize this. Like, so many
Sure.
people will say, "I don't have time for that," right?
Yeah.
What would you say to someone who says like, "Oh, I don't have time for that," you know?
You always have time.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I if it's like when I'm not like when I don't design, like it gets boring. Honestly, just 'cause like I have a lot of free time, or like I have free time in my day. Um, I think that you can always make time for something. Like if you just take whatever, like you have a lot of passive time in your day. Like you're sitting in a car, or like you're sitting in class and not doing anything, or like you're at home watching like television, or you're at home playing games. Like if you take that time and you apply it to a passion or apply it to a skill and develop that skill, which is like what I've done personally, is like I make sure that I use or a lot of my passive time towards something. Like you can reap so many benefits
You told me you stopped
from
playing
it.
video games as a whole, right? Like a while ago.
Yeah, more or less. Like, I mean, okay, on the exam break, I did play a little bit of CS just because I got bored.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, definitely. Like, I used to play so much video games, bro. Oh my god. And then like,
Wow.
have like waned that off a ton, partly because my interests have shifted, but also partly because I knew that if I was dedicating the time that I was spending on gaming and just like getting really good at CS and shit, that on like a passion of mine, or like just any sort of like skill, that I would be able to develop it a lot.
True. I just want to emphasize again, you said you can always make time. I'll go back to my example. It was our fifth artist we talked about today out of five here, Isaiah, Scarface, right? This guy has a full-time job, works however many hours, 44 hours a week, something like that, sometimes a little bit more. Man's heavily involved in his church community, stuff like that. He volunteers, I know, does a ton of stuff, and he's still putting out significant amount of work, right? You can always make time. It's just about you know, what you prioritize. Yeah, for sure.
But
Is there anything else you want to say on that, Brittany, before we wrap up a bit?
I think I'm good.
Okay.
Cool. Anything you guys, either of you want to say before we wrap up here?
Shout
at all?
out. Anything?
Yeah, maybe
Shout
shout out.
I know Brittany's working on
Have some
something.
plugs. Plug anything.
shout out
upcoming.
to everybody who watched. Yo, if you're watching right now and you haven't subscribed to this channel, subscribe to this channel, because I see 24 viewers and 17 subscribers. So you guys are on some goofy shit.
Every Thursday. Every
Yeah,
Thursday.
yeah,
at 8:30, guys.
You gotta be rocking with my man.
We're gonna
You gotta
be
supporting the local podcast, yo. For real.
A quick
man.
question though,
Yeah.
bringing it back to the chat that I saw, that guy,
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
like website
Mhm.
was like lagging. Did it say Lil Booty Call?
It straight
Yeah.
did, little booty call.
I think it
I
sure
love
did.
Lil Booty Call.
Yo, that's me.
I love
like
that.
shit.
Yo.
That's dope.
Oh, you hooked that up? You hooked that up?
Did you actually?
Yo,
No,
I put both of you onto Lil Booty Call.
Oh,
Yo, that's so funny. Yo, that's such a funny name. Yo, no, his music's actually good though.
That's jokes, though. That's
Lil
jokes.
Yeah,
Booty
that's
Call.
very
That's a good.
little booty
All
call.
right, just to wrap up here, guys, before we go into more chat-based discussion, you guys are gonna have a chance to, obviously, guys, every Thursday. I know it's Wednesday today. Okay, we're getting on a new schedule. Every Thursday at 8:30. If you are watching live, you can ask us any questions. You can ask our guests any questions. We're gonna be doing a live Q&A after every single episode.
And I wanted to say that I know a lot of you guys want to come on the podcast. I've been getting questions.
Yeah.
You know, people like, yo, can you fit me in? Like, shit. But we're gonna be doing a little bit of a better system where we have like the topics laid out for a bunch of weeks to come. And as much as we like to just have people on because they want to be on, we want people who really are able to discuss what the topic
Yeah, the
is.
specific
Like I feel
topic.
like our guests were really good today. Thank you so much, Brittany, for
Yeah,
being here.
thanks,
And
guys,
thank you so
again,
much, Max.
so much
Thanks for
being
having
here.
us.
Of course,
Okay.
yeah.
Yo, like,
Gladly.
honestly, like it was a great discussion. I feel like I learned a lot, right? Even though I've
Yeah.
did some research on you guys before, I didn't know a lot.
Good. Sweet.
So one thing
Yeah,
we're
thank you
gonna
both very much for having me on.
oh
Thanks, guys.
thanks
Dang.
for all the clout you brought. Straight up.
I try.
I brought it all.
Yeah.
Hey, that's facts.
True.
Yeah.
What am I
Bad
saying?
facts.
Uh,
Just to wrap it up, guys. Just talking about passion projects. Again, it's not a waste of time, right? Anytime you're pursuing something that you love, a goal that you have, a dream that you have, it's never a waste of time. Just get out and do it, and don't hold back. Anything you want to add, Griffin?
Just find something that inspires you. A lot of people ask like, off. A lot of people. A lot of people.
Did he literally just
Yeah.
leave to do
Yeah, he's flexing.
No, so I can do it for the chat.
A lot of people will say like, what do I do? Right? Like, oh, I don't have any skills. Just anything really. Like, it could be the simplest thing. If it makes you happy and you feel like you can get better at it, it's gonna, it's work that's gonna teach you stuff, but feels good for you to do. I'd say do anything. If you wanna, talk to us after stream, I'm sure Max has some opinions on like what maybe you could pursue. Max is always looking for people to check out the Toronto music scene, which honestly I found I had no
pretty
idea about like the Toronto music scene until Max like talked to me a ton about it, and it's pretty dope, honestly. Like it's pretty sick.
Yeah, no, it's
All
very
right.
cool. I mean, yeah.
Uh,
Good shit.
All right, guys. I think that's about gonna wrap it up for the YouTube video portion of this podcast. I want to plug that YouTube channel again, guys. I know we had a couple problems last week, but this stream will be uploaded to YouTube directly after every Thursday when we wrap up, as well as an edited version without the live Q&A. So you can check that out anytime. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next Thursday, 8:30.
Like and subscribe for more.
Straight up. See, Max is networking even now for us. I need to get this guy on my social media.
Of course.
All right, thanks, guys. For being on. We're gonna open it up to the chat here. I haven't read the chat really. How's everyone doing?
Oh, it's been funny. It's been
Wait,
funny.
what is this live Q&A before you go?
Yo, I have to go walk my dog. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
so,
actually?
Brittany, you
Yeah,
can
fair
live
enough.
Q&A. I'm just gonna have to cut.
Straight up.
What is that?
We did
I
run
They
out
appreciate
of
ask
you both.
questions and we answer.
Yeah, we're just gonna have
Max,
Respect.
straight
Bye.
Max.
Tell your dog I say hi.
Did you promise to say